An eargasm of learning and a no-fuss show. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast, where you can learn straightforward topics about branding, digital entrepreneurship, online business, and many more with your charming host, John Santos, along with inspiring entrepreneurs, creators, and thought leaders worldwide.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Creative Talk Podcast with me, John Santos. And today we have a very special guest. I am more than a fanboy.
Oh, thank you.
Because, man, guys, for all the listeners and viewers out there, you don't have any idea how big this person is. Like, literally, he is just amazing. The founder and CEO of wheninmanila.com. And you might ask me, okay, Jan, so what is wheninmanila.com? It's the biggest, guys, the biggest online magazine in the Philippines. And when I say biggest, it's the biggest. A successful entrepreneur, guys, very successful entrepreneur, chain of businesses, chain of restaurants, amazing. This guy is a superstar, but he is so humble. And, that's the reason why I love this guy. I'm raising the bar, bro. I'm raising the bar.
I'm blushing. Thank you. That's way too much.
No, guys, this is me being authentic. The reason why I respect this guy so much and the reason why I love him and what he does is because in spite of him being that big up there on the corporate ladder, owning a lot of businesses, running the biggest magazine in the country, he's just, full of love, care, humility. And then for me, that's the main qualities of a successful brand. So again, Vince, thank you for being here in the show. Guys, let's all welcome Vince Golangco. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the very warm welcome and warm intro. That's way too much. Too much. I feel like there's a
fanboy here.
Oh, thank you.
No, Vince, thank you. I've mentioned this off cam and I'm gonna say it again. I know you're a very busy person. Thank you for being with us here in the show. Guys, he's going to fly. Am I right? This week, you're going to fly to the US. So squeezing in this podcast interview is a blessing. So thank you again, Vince.
Oh, anytime. Thank you for having me.
All right. So, bro, I'm excited, and I know our listeners and viewers are excited. What or who influenced you to be in this position of greatness that you are right in? The position of you touching people's lives, maybe employment or helping people create content, making a difference. Who or what influenced you, bro? The floor is yours. Feel free to share.
Well, I try to learn from everyone I meet. I don't know if there was one specific person who influenced me, but there is one thing that I do believe helped me, or a mindset that helped me reach here. It's that the understanding of what success is, and all success is for me, success is just when preparation meets opportunity. So you never know when the opportunity will come. I always like using the example of you wanting to become an actor, and you one day randomly running into Steven Spielberg in an elevator, and Steven saying, "Hey, I need someone who has your look. I need someone for a role similar look to you. Are you an actor?" And you're like, "Yes, I am." And then there's two types of people after that. After saying they are actors, one is the one who prepared the whole time, and one is the one who wasn't. So the one who didn't prepare, because but both of them didn't know they were going to run into Steven Spielberg or whoever famous director you want to run into. The one who wasn't prepared, Steven Spielberg's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, can you just drop me a quick acting line? Oh no, just from your favorite movie or whatever." And the actor who wasn't prepared, he'd be like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I can't remember any lines. And then Steven Spielberg was like, "You know what? Don't worry. I'll call you." Okay, but that pretty much means you lost it. But then there's the other actor And this just an example. Again, it's
Yes,
whatever
yes.
field you're into.
Mm,
But if
mm.
the other actor, every morning he wakes up and he repeats some lines, his favorite movie lines. He looks in the mirror and prepares. He doesn't quite know what he's preparing for, but he's like, I'm going to be an actor. I'm going to perfect reading lines. I'm going to perfect giving these emotional talks. I'm going to perfect these acting skills. And every morning he looks in the mirror and he practices. He gets small roles here and there, nothing big. But then again, one day he runs into Steven Spielberg in the elevator. And when he says, do you have a line for me? He's like, yes, 1 second. Gets in character and
Ooh,
boom,
nice.
delivers the line of his life.
Right.
So for me, it's always just success is preparation meeting opportunity. You
Mm,
don't know when the opportunity is gonna come, but if you're prepared, then you'll meet
love
success.
that. Love that.
Uh,
Remember,
so
going back to
that's
the story, bro. Just a quick one. Going back to the example of meeting Steven Spielberg. I think I'm the third person. You gave an example of first and second. I think I would be the third person. You know, the one that will be starstruck. And just
yeah,
like, damn,
maybe
what? This is Steven Spielberg.
maybe
Like, fuck.
yeah, you'll just be drooling. So that's a third, yeah, I guess. So that's one. I guess that's so for influence, I think it's more of just the I try to learn from everyone. But it's also I think it's a mindset that people should hold that'll help them reach certain levels of certain goals in their life or certain levels of success, whatever they consider to be successful. But at the same time, for me, other than that's also part hard work, part luck. I wasn't sure what to do after actually, I have quite after I dropped out of high school. I didn't know what to do in life. I joined the military. After the military, I still wasn't sure. I was in the U.S. Navy. Um, Went back to school, didn't know what to major in, kept switching majors, eventually fell in love with communication. Not really fell in love. It was just easy for me because I didn't know it was my strength. I guess I'm good at communicating, which eventually I took some writing classes as part of the communication major. And that's where I found out I loved writing. And I didn't even realize till way after that. I was like, when I was younger, I used to love try writing poems. I loved writing to the girls I liked, my crushes. I would write to them, and I was like, and this whole time, like, oh, I guess I was a writer the whole time. So it wasn't until I took those writing classes that I realized I like those writing classes, and still not knowing that I was gonna quote unquote be a writer, but I started blogs just because I enjoyed it. I enjoyed writing, sharing my stories. And when I came to the Philippines, I blogging was just starting here. In the
Yeah.
US, it was very
Yeah.
common.
Mm.
And here it was just starting. So I was sort of at the right place at the right time. And then I found the right mix of decent writing with good with good SEO, search engine optimization.
Mm.
And the blog did well from the start. Well,
When was
almost
this?
from the start.
Like when you said the Philippines is at its baby steps on blog, was it like 2008? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Roughly, yeah. It was about
Yeah.
2009, 10.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yep, exactly. So that's when blogging is sort of the older version of
Mm,
influencing. So
mm.
influencers before that term even came about, pretty much were bloggers. So I was from
Damn,
that.
is that how old we are?
Yes, yes. So I'm from the first generation, I guess, the OG influencers, bloggers. Uh, so and there we go. So from the blog there weren't that many. I found the right balance because blogs back then were either really good at SEO, meaning even though you weren't looking for something, the blog would show up on Google search or whatever, and but it would be spammy because it's not really what you're looking for. Or some people are really good writers, like award-winning writers, but unfortunately online, if you don't know SEO, no one can find your article. So I sort of found the middle ground, and the site did well, roughly from the start, roughly, and we've just been growing ever since.
Wow. Wow. Vince, you mentioned, the blog and that is wheninmanila.com, right? I just want to jump into that before we go on discussing about the topic. What do you think is the special sauce that makes wheninmanila.com, very powerful and very successful?
Uh, well, it's one is that mix of decent writing
Mm,
and great SEO. So decent writing, so at least people aren't totally. At least they understand what you're saying, and then great SEO, so they can find it. So it's a mix of that. Plus, I think it's being organic slash relatable. The problem with other digital sites or influencers or whatnot are sometimes it becomes too much of an advertisement. It's too much of an ad. It's too much of a press release, and people can see right through that, and they're like, I don't want to read an article about why I should eat at this fast food chain when I know it's sponsored by the fast food chain. They paid you to say that, or whatever it might be, rather than just without being negative, but still being genuine. The way you write it, the way you talk about it, the way you present it. So it's still just being a bit more genuine rather than very monotonous and
Yeah,
robotic
I love that.
sounding.
And I totally agree because the content that is under when in Manila, the content that you guys produce, you can really feel the authenticity, the story behind maybe entertainment or establishments, brands. You can really feel the story, and when that happens, you as a consumer, you feel that you're really involved, and that is very powerful. So I love that. Having said that, Vince, I am excited, and I know our listeners and viewers are excited to know, powerful strategies to grow your business. You mentioned, a glimpse of it in wheninmanila.com. But guys, like what I've said earlier, Vince here is amazing and a successful entrepreneur, meaning there's like multiple of businesses, and When in Manila is just one of it. So, bro, in your journey, what are the powerful strategies that you can share to grow your business? The floor is yours.
Well, for me, it's digital marketing is one of the strongest points nowadays that I think people should really learn or invest into. Digital marketing is pretty much is in a way can be free marketing because everyone can promote themselves or their own businesses to a certain extent. Of course, there are lots of merits to also having other influencers, other websites also write about, let's say, whatever your business is or your small restaurant, also having influencers having it written about on When in Manila. There's of course pros to that, but if you yourself, your mini restaurant, Jan's Steakhouse,
Wow.
if
Love
you
that.
yourself have at least somewhat of a following, a few
Mm,
thousand, it doesn't need
mm,
to be in the millions, but at
right.
least if you have something going on where you can make announcements, you can easily communicate with people, where people know where to find you, where to see your menu, where to order online, that already will give a giant boost. Digital marketing is a bit tougher than it sounds. It's a lot tougher, but I feel like if you have the right effort, you'll be able to get there. The thing with it is really just posting regularly. That is the bottom line of it. Posting regularly, every day, at least one post, if not more.
Woo.
Uh, that would be the bare minimum of it. So
Mm,
creating pages, so Facebook, well, I guess that's the other hurdle is you have to create multiple pages on different platforms.
right.
As you fine tune it, then you make different content per platform. Like right now, the big thing is really TikTok. TikTok is growing
Yes.
tremendously,
Yes.
but of
Yeah.
course, you still give merit to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, etc.
Right.
Depends on your market, depends who's there, but of course, the more platforms you're on, the more people you'll reach. Just because some people are only on TikTok, some people only like Instagram, some people like LinkedIn and Facebook. So some people are on all of them. So it's just nice to have your presence on all of them. In the beginning, you can just create one piece of content and post it everywhere. And as your different pages grow, then you can fine tune, like, okay, um, informational or entertaining dancing content fits more on TikTok. I'll do more dancing there. But on YouTube, I'll do more informative,
Mm,
educational.
mm,
But on Twitter, it'll be shorter. So
right.
you fine tune it a bit more as you go along. But in the beginning, it's just post one per day on as many, if not all, digital platforms you can. And
Wow.
I feel like that will take your business far already.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
that's a bit of the practical, of the more hands-on side.
Mm,
On the more philosophical side, I believe succeeding in business is just about one thing amongst the many is surrounding yourself with the right people.
mm,
Um,
mm.
there's that saying, tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. also says that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time
Yes.
with.
Mm.
So just, I mean, imagine if you have 5 friends, all 5 of them smoke cigarettes. Even though you don't smoke, you're very likely down the line to maybe
You're gonna
try
die
it.
first. Because
Well,
you're
you might
inhaling
also get
everything.
secondhand smoke a lot, but you might end up trying it. Whereas if
Yes,
you had
yes.
5 friends who loved reading books,
Exactly, yeah.
even though you don't read that much, every
Mm,
now and then you might pick up a book or you might
right.
hear something from them about that. So that's really very important, is surrounding yourself with the right people. It's easier said than done, because
Yes.
sometimes, especially when you're younger, you
Mm,
don't really know how to pick. Not to mention, if yeah, you don't know how to pick. Plus, not everyone has like options. Like dozens of people want to hang out with me.
exactly, yeah.
I
It's
can
it's
choose
part of
who
the
to hang
journey,
out
right?
with.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit easier said than done.
Love that. Love that, Vince. Another follow-up question. What is your tip to startup creators out there? Maybe they're for their brands or their businesses, small, mid, or traditional businesses doing the transition, utilizing social media and creative media. What's your tip? Because man, you are such in that core of creating content to promote brands, maybe in the Philippines and outside the country. So what is your tip for starting creators to promote their brands or businesses?
Um, Advertise on wheninmanila.com, I guess would be kidding, but
Love that, love
um
that. It was like smoothly done, bro.
for them it's being organic.
Mm,
Um every time we work with brands, every time we work with ad agencies,
mm,
PR agencies, small businesses, every time they want us to create content for online, it's always an ad.
mm.
Especially for if they're not used to digital, it's always a commercial that's on TV, some a commercial like thing.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that way, because less people will share that, less people will like that, less people will comment there. So it really
Mm,
has to be organic. I mean, it has to
yeah.
be real. It has to be relatable, and people have to sort of say like, "Oh my god, that happens to me. I
Mm,
didn't know it
yeah.
happened to other people. I can so relate." That is it. We sort of have a guidelines on how things trend, how things go viral as well.
Wow.
A few other tips we give are that it has to evoke an emotion.
There you go. Yeah.
Those if a piece of content evokes an emotion, that is the most it has the highest chances of going viral.
Woo.
What does evoking an emotion mean? It's after I watch it, I feel something. What is the
Mm.
number one emotion to evoke? Can you do you know? Can you guess? What is the
Uh,
number one emotion you can evoke that will get people to more likely share your content, to more likely go viral?
sad or happy, things like
Sad or
that.
happy? Those are usually what people guess. Happy is very close.
Mm.
Number one emotion is awe.
Wow. Wow.
Not the oh, that's so cute. That's
Yeah,
different.
like
Awe.
amazement, right? Yeah,
So
you're
yeah,
amazed.
AWE. It's the exact emotion you feel when a magician does something
Mm.
completely crazy.
Mm.
They pull
Yeah.
a rabbit out of a hat. They whatever magic thing they
Mm.
do. You're like, oh my god, that's so crazy. Oh my god, mom, you need to see this. Oh my god,
Yeah.
friends, you
Yeah.
need to see this. That is all. That is
Wow.
the best emotion to share, followed by joy, happiness, and then further down is actually anger or sadness.
Which is
So
very
it's actually
difficult to utilize for creative content, right? To promote your brand.
yes. Yeah, also you do, yeah, exactly. So awe is the best, and then followed
Mm.
by happiness. But also the world's already so dark and bitter. So why not share happiness instead?
Right, right.
So
Wow.
evoking emotions is one of the tips as well on creating possibly viral content.
Wow. Guys, listeners and viewers out there you have it. Man, I learned a lot from that. And I know our listeners and viewers learned from, it's very valuable, bro. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for giving us tips after tips after tips. Thank you so much, Vince. I am so blessed to have you. And I'm sure our listeners and viewers are blessed because your story is enough. to push them forward and really get that success in life. But we're not done yet, my friend. We are not done yet. This is the part where we will play a game. Are you ready,
Okay.
bro?
Okay.
All
I
right,
love board games
this is a
and video games.
tradition
So yeah.
here in the show. We call it the Creative Fast Talk. I'm going to be asking you questions, and you are not allowed to spend much time thinking what the right answer would be. First word that comes into your mind, boom, shoot. All right.
Burrito. Did I win?
And the reason, guys, for all the listeners and viewers out there, the reason why he's so game, because correct me if I'm wrong, Vince, okay? One of the businesses that you own or you invest in is a gaming
Yeah.
business, right?
I have board game stores. I love board games because I'm online so much. I'm always working digitally. I'm on my phone, on the computer. So board games is a way to do digital detox. And part of work for me, I love what I do. So even though I'm not working, I'm thinking about it sometimes. Like, what video can I do next?
Exactly.
What creative content? Because I enjoy it. So the only way for me to really not think about it is to when I'm focused on a game, on a video game or a board game. Board game, it's because it's not digital, so I get the digital detox with it, and I get to spend time with friends or family. So I really enjoy it. So yeah, gaming library is my stores at the malls, and we're opening a board game experience store called All Aboard as well soon.
Wow. Exclusive, guys. Exclusive news. All right, Vince, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's start with something easy. First question, sun or snow?
Oh, sun, I guess.
All right. Structured or chaotic?
Oh, structured.
Okay. Love or money? You better get this right.
Love, yeah.
Is she there?
I love money. I mean, I'm kidding. Love. Yeah, love.
All right. Next. If you were an animal, what animal would you be and why?
I would be a cat.
Okay.
Because I just want to lay down and don't want anyone to bother me.
All right.
I'm a big cat person. Adopt, don't shop. I have 9 adopted cats. So yeah.
Wow. There you have it. Right. All right. Are you a passenger or a driver?
I'm a driver.
The mountains or the beaches?
Beaches.
What are you afraid of, Vince?
I'm afraid of growing old and no one taking care of my cats. Well, dying and no one taking care of my cats.
All right.
That's one of my fears is that, so I've told my friends, like, hey, if anything happens to me, make sure you come to my place and check on the cats and adopt them.
You need to start putting that into the last will and testament. So, get it sorted.
Already, yes. Already did that.
All right. What is the weirdest food you've tried so far?
I can't think of a weird food because like the weird Filipino foods are common. Right. And because I got used to it, when I'm in America, when I say I've eaten duck embryo balut, everyone's like freaked out. Like, ugh! So when I hear other food now that's kind of quote unquote gross, for me, it's just like, oh, that's what they think about balut. So it's probably not that bad. So I would try them. Yeah, I can't think. I guess balut, but for non-Filipinos, non-Hawaiians would be a bit weird.
All right. Okay. Next. What is something that is always inside your bag when you were a kid?
I did bring a lot of bags. Pencil case. I also on my non-school bag, I would have some toys. I would always like bringing around toys. I don't know why, but yeah.
Right. Okay. Next. Movies or books?
When I was younger, I would say books, but now I'm just, oh my God, I love movies so much now. I'd love to say both, but honestly, I haven't been reading a lot of books lately, and I hate myself for that.
so movies, right?
For now, yeah.
All right. Okay. Since you answered movies, name your top 3 movies of all time.
Good Will Hunting is one. Man, I have a long list of movies I like. Casablanca is another really good one.
Yes.
But I feel like that's all showing my age. So,
And I agreed. I was like, yes.
so what's a more recent one I've seen? I can't think of a recent one. I just saw Avatar yesterday. That was still really good. You should go see it. They re-released it.
Is it good? Is it good?
It's so good, even the second time around.
Okay. Okay. Next. What is your dream superpower and why?
When I grew up collecting comic books, I really love the X-Men. I used to like Wolverine, but then it's a dream superpower because if your claws just come out while you're scratching your butt or something, it's kind of, if it accidentally comes out. If I really have a superpower, I'd love to fly. I guess that would be cool.
Right. But since you mentioned that, this is not in the list. DC or Marvel?
Both. I don't think there's one over. I like them both. I don't have a favorite.
Well,
I really love I love both. Yeah, I love Batman movies. I love the whole Avengers thing. So yeah, I don't have one favorite right now for that genre.
Nice. Safe. Bro, this last question can lead into something serious depending on how you take the question. All right. If you have the power to bring back someone back from the dead, who would it be and why? Anybody.
Yeah, that one is deep. I used to, man, when I used to do these interviews a lot more, I'd have answers to all of these off the top of my head. It's been a while with the whole pandemic. Someone dead, bring them back.
Can only bring back one.
Man, I'd love to bring back Robin Williams.
Oh,
I just feel like I feel like I'd really love to understand more about mental health and all that, because just from the outside, of course, I didn't know him personally, but just from the outside, he's such a one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite, Good Will Hunting. Robin Williams is there. So many other wonderful, positive Robin Williams movies. If you watch his comedy, he's so funny. He seems so happy, and then poof, one day, just gone. So I feel like that's so sad, and I feel like that was one of the things that was one of the celebrity deaths that I felt really bad about. So I would love to give him a second chance at life, and sort of, because he brought so much happiness, I feel like, to so many people. So yeah,
love that. Thank you, Vince. Thank you so much for sharing your story, giving us valuable tips, and acting silly, playing, and answering weird questions. Thank you so much, bro. I know that there's a lot going on When in Manila projects, releases, artists, or social media accounts that you want to promote. The floor is yours. Feel free to promote, bro.
Pretty much, yeah. Follow me on wheninmanila.com, at When in Manila on our different socials, and then for me, it's at Vince Golangco. Hopefully, you can spell that out. Other than that, I love board games. Check out Gaming Library at the malls, gaminglib.com, Gaming Lib on some socials, and then Gaming Library, gaminglib.com for our online store for board games. I have a few restaurants. Check them out, Tipsy Pig and Wolfgang Steakhouse. But yeah, that's about it.
Nice. Guys, please do connect with Vince. I'm sure he can help you in your journey towards success. Always remember, have a positive outlook in life. Smile, and God bless. Bye.
Thank you for being with us here on the Creative Talk Podcast. I'm your host, John Santos. Don't forget to listen and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. See you again, always.